Welcome to E2XYZ News. I'm Richard G. at XYZ, and here's your Business English News Update. Today we'll cover two major stories: a massive web service outage that disrupted major apps around the world, and a global report showing that business optimism is falling as trade pressures rise. Along the way, I'll highlight key English vocabulary and show you how to use it naturally. Now on to our first story. Amazon Web Services, also known as AWS, suffered a major outage this week that affected websites and applications worldwide. The disruption brought down major platforms in sectors ranging from finance to entertainment, including several e-commerce and streaming services. AWS engineers worked overnight to restore service, announcing full recovery nearly 12 hours later. The company said the cause of the outage was a configuration error in its cloud infrastructure, which temporarily disconnected data centers in North America and Europe. The event raised questions about global digital dependence, as many businesses rely heavily on AWS and similar providers to keep their systems online. Analysts say that incidents like this highlight the risks of concentration in the cloud computing industry. Now let's take a look at the vocabulary. Our first word is outage, a period when a service stops working. From the story, Amazon Web Services suffered a major outage that affected websites and applications worldwide. A new original example: a power outage at the factory halted production for several hours. Next we have service, a system or organization that provides something useful to customers. From the story, AWS engineers worked overnight to restore service. A new example: our customer service department handles all product inquiries. Third, we have recovery, the process of returning to normal after a problem or failure. From our story, AWS announced full recovery nearly 12 hours later. A new example: the company's quick recovery helped restore investor confidence. Lastly, we have infrastructure, the basic systems and structures that help support an organization or economy. From our story, the cause of the outage was a configuration error in its cloud infrastructure. A new example: strong digital infrastructure is essential for global business operations. And now on to our next story. A new survey shows that global business optimism has declined for the third consecutive quarter. The report, published by Investopedia, found that over 55% of international firms have lowered their forecasts for 2026. Executives cited rising trade pressures and ongoing supply chain disruptions as key reasons for their declining confidence. Many companies are looking for opportunities beyond the United States and China to reduce risk and diversify their markets. Economists warn that if this trend continues, lower business optimism could slow investment hiring and growth in multiple regions. At the same time, some emerging markets may benefit as companies shift production and sourcing to new locations. Now let's take a look at the vocabulary. Our first word from our story is business optimism, the level of confidence companies have about future economic conditions. From our story, global business optimism has declined for the third consecutive quarter. A new example: high business optimism often leads to stronger investment. Our second word is forecast, a prediction or estimate of future trends based on current data. From our story, over 55% of international firms have lowered their forecasts for 2026. A new example: the weather forecast predicts heavy rain this weekend. Our third word is trade pressures, external factors that make international trade more difficult, such as tariffs or political disputes. From within our story, executives cited rising trade pressures as a key reason for their declining confidence. A new example: trade pressures between major economies can slow global growth. Lastly, we have supply chain disruptions. interruptions that prevent products from moving smoothly through production and delivery. From our story, executives cited ongoing supply chain disruptions as a key reason for their declining confidence. An original example, the pandemic caused severe supply chain disruptions worldwide. These two stories reveal how closely connected technology and business confidence have become. When major cloud infrastructure fails, global operations can grind to a halt. And when trade pressures and supply chain disruptions grow, optimism across industries weaken. Stability, both digital and economic, is what keeps global business moving. Now, it's your turn. Which of today's words could you use in your own work or studies? Try making a sentence with outage, infrastructure, or forecast in the comments below. Learn the English you need for business, IELTS prep, or real life. Click the link below to book a free class. Share, like, and subscribe if you found today's news useful. I'm RichardG.xyz, and you've just been enriched.